Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kizz, and you're watching my weight loss chronicle with a bit of a nerdy twist. Today's segment is going to be the second segment of the planning chapter, and today we are going to discuss things like health issues and how previous diets are going to affect this weight loss journey. So without further ado, I give you the next chapter of the Star Wars Kizz versus the Obese epic struggle. Enjoy!
Rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place off the liquor that we chase.
Hi and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that chapter of the Kizz versus the Obese. So my weight loss journey, again, trying to go from Jabba to Leia and do it in a healthy way. So one of the things we need to think about when embarking on a weight loss journey would be what health conditions you currently have and how that could impact your journey and how that could impact even just what you eat, how you exercise. I've touched on this a little bit in a previous video, but I do have existing health conditions that will affect the way I eat and what I can do for exercising. There's the very obvious one with the broken fibula, broken leg, that is going to hinder my exercise and somewhat of my eating, as I can't prepare my food myself as much as I would like to. It's getting better, but it's not quite there. So for me, the other things I've got polycystic ovarian syndrome. So some of the fun things with this one is that you get cysts in your ovaries, they're painful, but what it affects in terms of your everyday life is that it hinders you actually losing weight. So you get what's called insulin resistance, where your body produces insulin, but then refuses to use it. So you get a lot of the same symptoms as you would with diabetes, early stages of diabetes. And you can take some medications. I am currently unmedicated for that because mine is not so severe right now, which is good. So the other things it affects would be random hair growth and high testosterone levels, which is what fuels that extra hair growth. That extra hair growth can be anywhere that usually a guy would get hair. So you get some funny hairs here, maybe in other places that you wouldn't normally, or you're just a bit of a hairier individual. So a lot of times the different techniques for hair removal that are electric don't cover hair removal of hair that's caused by hormonal imbalances, which is what this would be with that higher testosterone. So unfortunately, that means you're stuck with your traditional methods, waxing, plucking, shaving, and it's not as fun. But the better you get that under control, the less hair growth you have. So thankfully, again, mine's not that bad. I get a couple here and there. But it is something that can be a bit mortifying if you're out in public and suddenly you've got this chin hair trying to take over the world. So, I don't think they need a quarter to reach out and touch someone. I think it's just, let's get this under control so it just doesn't happen so often. My next one that affects my everyday is migraines. Now, I get several types of migraines, and everybody always thinks that migraines are just, oh, I've got pain in my eye, and I'm photosensitive or sensitive to light. But for me, my migraines manifest in a different way. So for me, my migraines might manifest in vertigo or really severe dizziness where I can't even get to the toilet myself. Or it could just be a different variation or severity of it where it's a bit annoying. I also get what are called familial hemiplegic migraines. So hemiplegic migraines run in my family, which is why it's important for us to consider our family history and our DNA in terms of our health for a weight loss journey. So a hemiplegic migraine is when one side of your body mimics the symptoms of a stroke. So you'll lose control of maybe one side of your face, one side of your body, and it can, again, go to different severities. So you could get very easily just your hand doesn't lift far enough, or you're going up the stairs and that left leg just doesn't quite lift and you're banging on the stair. That's actually the reason for a lot of my toe injuries. So for me, dealing with that and trying to assess the severity on the given day is going to affect obviously my eating for food preparation, but as well as my exercise and what I can and can't physically do that day. I don't really want to be lifting weight over my head and have my left hand not function and drop the weight on my head. So I would much rather take inventory and be careful when I exercise. The other type of migraines are ocular migraines, and those are your normal migraines that you would get with that light sensitivity and the pain. And those ones, while they hurt, are not coming so often these days. And when they do come, you're in bed usually if they're severe, or just trying to cope with your day-to-day activities if you get them at all. So migraines for me are, again, a big impact on my daily life. They're not debilitating at this point, but there have been times in my life where they have been debilitating to the point where it interfered in my activities of daily living and ability to even do my own self-care. I also have an issue with my autoimmune system. No, this is not AIDS. Whenever I say autoimmune, everybody's like, ooh, it's going to be AIDS. It is not AIDS. Not that there's anything wrong with AIDS. Anybody who has AIDS is treatable now. You can live a long and healthy life. But what I've got is actually just an autoimmune issue where my immune system is heightened and it attacks my own body as if it were an invader or a sickness or an illness. And it causes various different issues. For me, it's caused bilateral sensory neural hearing loss. So that means both sides, I have hearing loss to a different degree. One side's more severe than the other. And that's because my immune system has attacked those little hairs behind the eardrums and killed some of those hairs. So it can be, life-changing if it were more severe. But you also get things like rashes, maybe across your face. A lot of times when I'm speaking to my doctor about my autoimmune issues, we joke around and we call it my not lupus, because lupus is something that's really severe. And whilst I have a lot of the signs, doctors in Australia especially are really hesitant to diagnose it because of the stigma that comes along with it in the medical profession, and because it's still so misunderstood by the general population. I think Seal, if you know the Kiss by a Rose song from the 90s, he has lupus, and you can see where he's got the scarring across his face and that butterfly rash. I do get that from time to time, and it's really like severe windburn that just stays there and stays there. And again, autoimmune is going to affect my everyday for this weight loss journey, because if I get rashes in somewhere that's going to rub while I'm working out, that's going to have to be taken into consideration as well. Another effect of the autoimmune condition is rheumatoid arthritis. Now, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. It is not your typical arthritis that you get with your bones weakening or with age. Again, it just has to do with your autoimmune system, just basically attacking your own body. So for me, I've got rheumatoid arthritis, which they abbreviate to RA, in between my shoulder blades. So for me, it doesn't really affect my day-to-day too often, and I find that keeping up a good weightlifting regime a couple of times a week has really helped the supporting musculature, so that my actual spine is not doing so much of the work where the damage is, and it's really helped in the long run. But it does affect it if it gets particularly cold or particularly humid. Yes, like they always say, I can feel it when it's about to rain. Yes, I actually can. I can predict when it's about to rain or when it's become very humid without, feeling the sweat not evaporating off of your skin. I can actually feel it in the areas where I've got rheumatoid arthritis because that inflammation rises in response. So again, just another thing to take into consideration. And I'm not medicated for any of these issues at the moment. I don't take any preventative measures other than avoiding any triggers that I might have for migraines. So these particular issues, they are going to affect my ability to work out and my ability to eat healthily and do my food prep. But again, these are considerations that we need to look at, when we want to see what kind of diet are we going to do. Are the foods really high maintenance? Do they require a lot of prep? Or is it something that you can eat and just grab a fruit or whatever's available that's healthy and just eat it to, satiate that hunger? So for me, I'm looking at hopefully easier maintenance diets in terms of eating that are sustainable. And I'm looking at just varying up my physical activity to account for any issues I might have that are related to my pre-existing health issues. Over the years, I have tried many a different diet, whether it was a fad diet or just trying to reduce portion sizes and everything under the sun that you could really think of. In short, I ended up burning out my metabolism. So anything over 800 calories was going to make me gain weight, no matter how healthy or good for me that food was. It was just going to make me gain weight. So from there, I gave up again. I did eat all the wrong things, but I started weightlifting, and that weightlifting was what I found I really enjoyed, because whilst I was a bigger person and getting bigger, I was also gaining a lot more muscle. So I think at one point in time, I had a friend who weighed right around 70 kilos when I was 98 kilos, and we wore the same clothing size. So again, every person is really created differently, built differently, different musculature, different size bones. And it's just really interesting to see that there can be that disparity there. Now, for me, I would really like to get to my goal weight and have it be a nice muscled goal weight. But again, the yo-yo dieting may make this different. So I've heard from different medical professionals and online that the more and more you yo-yo diet, the harder it is for you to lose the weight. And I'm hoping that if I take it nice and slowly and I don't have any gigantic expectations right out of the gate, that maybe my weight loss will be a sustainable thing that really sticks this time. So that's going to be it for this segment. I will be posting more and more again in the coming days before it goes weekly. So if you liked this video and you liked the creative Star Wars bit at the beginning, please give this video a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more. I promise after the planning stages, things get a lot less boring, a lot less talking at you, and a little bit more engaging. So thank you for hanging in there, and please subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to see anytime I post any of the new content. Thank you, and have a great day.